Just wanted to show you an article on optogenetics, and this is where you can see how far along they are with controlling the physical bodies of any living entity, basically. Optogenetics. In the field of optogenetic integrates optics and genetic engineering to measure and manipulate cells, frequently neurons, and their governing biomolecular processes. The tools and technologies developed for optogenetic research utilize light to detect, measure, and control molecular signals in cells in order to understand their functions. Well, as you can see, they already know the functions big time because they are able to control the human body with light and frequencies, and with the possible use of nanoparticulars to make it more easier for them, like the graphene oxide we've already read about, and the aluminium. And now there are the biosensor collections, the microbial opsins. Opsins are light-gated ion channels or pumps that absorb light in specific wavelengths. Upon activation by light, these channels and pumps respond by opening or closing, which conducts the flow of ions into or out of the cell. Scientists have identified a variety of naturally occurring microbial opsins that respond to different wavelengths of light, like blue or yellow light. Well, there are many colors they use already, more than blue or yellow. There's the green, there's the red as well, as you'll see in a minute. These various opsins also initiate different electrochemical responses, such as non-specific cation influx versus proton efflux. But you see how deep they can go to the micro, into the body, to the atom level almost. But they do need these transducers to help them in controlling this. Microbial opsins, such as those described below, can be targeted and expressed in specific subsets of neurons, so they know exactly which one to target with what opsin. And of course, one will think that is a good thing because you can cure disease. But then they go on to see here are the lights they use and the frequencies that go with it. And I'm not sure if the protein that they are referring to is in combination with the CRISPR-Cas protein, CRISPR-Cas9 or 6, that has been known to have devastating, or as they say it, unintended side effects. And they don't go specify that, but if you search on, then we know what CRISPR-Cas does. It just messes up the body, it messes up the genes. They get, well, I haven't read about a third leg or something, but that's a possibility. It hasn't been described yet, but it's a possibility. Cancer is a definite possibility, if not given. But they go on about how this could be a cure for depression and drug addiction and other nerve diseases like Parkinson's. And when they speak about depression and drug addicts, that's the sheer technical outlook on we can cure anything. But totally look away from the society as it is now. Many people that are not that strong are driven to drugs because they see no other way. Because society has let them down in many ways. And there are drug addicts that are not changeable, and I don't know if this is a good one for them. That is a personal choice to be made for them. I hope that it can stay a personal choice to be doing so, and that the future will not bring I don't know, the dystopian one that you will be forced to take these treatments. And we've seen that with the vaccine, that challenge that they were forcing us almost to go with the gene editing of the vaccine, because it's not a vaccine, it's gene editing. And that alters your body in a way that doesn't, how do you say, flips back into the natural state. There's gene editing done, and that stays for the next generations as well. And they didn't even know what the consequences will be of that next generation alteration of the genes. And now they go further, because this is it. They use bacteria, they use algae, they use proteins, and we're speaking gene editing. So again, first of all, back to the diseases that they speak of. Parkinson's, for instance, could very well be a result from all the nanoparticles, the toxins we use in our foods and spray onto the environment. And do you really need then gene editing to get that right with more synthetic? I don't think so. But these people solely look at their research and the name attached to it, the status. It's topsy-turvy in my opinion, but that would be my opinion. You're entitled to another one. I'm just showing the alternative, create a better place for people to live in. And I think depression and drug abuse and even Parkinson's figures will go down, because happiness is the best medicine in the scale of illness. That has been proven. But these algae and proteins are all meant to get the body under control, neuroscience under control. And for the most of it, if you can control the body on the atomic level, and you add a little frequencies to that, and then you can completely control a human being. And it's good that there are researchers out there that go a little deeper on the topic, because people still don't believe that a human being is able to be controlled from outside sources, like total control. I'm going to add a little link to this so you can read it for yourself. There you go. They don't need implants. They may need nanoparticles in the opsin, but they do not need implants. And implants, the one that they speak about, the brain implant, as in a technical device implanted in the brain, these are still leaking and dangerous for the body, and but they're still pushing those as the narrative, but they're already beyond it. That's what I wanted to show you. They can control the body with light, with frequencies, and 6 millimeters deep. I think they can go even deeper with the military weapons, which are stronger, of course, military grade. A non-invasive technique. They still call it non-invasive, but when a human being is being altered by it, is it then non-invasive? I don't think so. And are people aware that it's possibly being tested on people as well if it comes from a satellite system? And I've been noticing these blue lights and these purple lights occurring all over the world, that they're changing the street lighting. A question mark comes to mind. But perhaps I'd be a conspiracy scientist then, considering they use blue light. It's possible, though improbable. Optogenetics is a technique whereby excitable cells, such as neurons, can be controlled at will by light. And I've seen some footage of a mouse being controlled by light. It was walking normal, and when the light switched on, it could only run in circles. They switched it off, and then the mouse was, well, normal again. I suppose he'd have a massive headache after, but they don't speak about that one. Light doesn't penetrate tissue easily, and they needed the opsins for it. So they make the light not as harmful. But if we speak that opsins are gene editing, as we noticed before, gene editing tools, then the complete human race is being altered if they use this one. And again, what will be the long-term health situation, and what would be the next generation's health situation, and what would be left of free will? Step function opsin. At the beginning, I literally said, oh shit, we overdid it, we screwed up. Oh God. They did. They don't even realize it. You just don't mess with nature. I think we've become GMO people already. Experiments in mice, this is a good one, showed that when the novel opsin, which the author's name Soul, God, is it that obvious? Either. I know Robert Duncan wrote a book about soul catchers, so I don't know who was first, the researchers or Robert Duncan, but this is exactly what's going on. They're trying to control everything. In my opinion, not for the means of medication or good purpose, but for the means of total control. And I unfortunately am speaking from experience. Doesn't mean you have to stop your activism. It means you have to go shout even louder for freedom. But there you go. I just wanted to share you this to show you that they don't need a BCI. They really don't. For a long time now. So perhaps it's time to, I don't know, at least realize that this is going on. And Raphael Yuste has a two hats on. It's a neuroscientist that is in the research, but also is going for the neural rights that seem to be, it looked like they are offering us those for protection, but if you read more to it, then they go for the it should not be for the elite solely narrative, as if it is and for some it might be, but it should be voluntary, as if it is a gift to humanity to have these ways of using the light and the frequencies, etc., to control a person, whether or not it's for health or for the new NeuroInt program from the government that is reading our thoughts with neurological intelligence via satellite. But there will be neural games as well, and I guess that is a step that is combined with the metaverse. But the metaverse will basically be in 4D in our brains. It will be a reality that is mixed with synthetic augmentation and the natural life. But you won't, if you don't know these tricks they use or the weapons they use, they will mix it up and you won't even realize it, or you'll think that was weird. And if you start the research, then you'll know that there are weapons and systems that can do that to you. They can show you holograms, they can show you pictures in your head, gifts in your head, and they use, I think, opsins as well. But if you start to watch the Charles Morgan lecture by the New War Institute, then that will show you how they go about sending you pictures and gifts and movies even into your body that you are not aware of, but are so worked out that you'll be astonished by it if it was not to abuse us. And of course it's the military, so it's not for a good purpose. And I find it fascinating that they named it the soul protein. Again, the topsy-turvy. You take the natural and the sustaining for life, and they go and hijack that to give it a, well, in this part they might think it's a positive connotation, but I don't know. I'd like to be free without them being able to control my body. I'd like to have a non-invasive life and a non-invasive body, and I'd like my brain to be mine, and I don't know, I just don't like my soul to be catched. I think that's a reasonable expectation, although in this world we need to fight to get it back.